All right, aside from having to talk to two retired NFL vets trying to hang on,
bearded old men,
how good does this start feel for you guys?
Feels good, for sure. It's been fun for us. I think, going into the season, not a lot of people expected much from us. And, I don't think we thought too much about it, just kind of kept what we were doing. And it's been fun, though. It's a fun group of guys. And I think we've played well kind of all three phases and played well together, which has been a lot of fun.
All right, for you, Daniel, you seem pretty comfortable and at home here in that sense. And your time here, just kind of seeing you enjoying the success y'all have had. I know obviously playing in New York, totally different. I mean, I played in Cincinnati and LA, two totally different places from an experience standpoint. What's Indy been like just being here and being part of this community? It's
been fun. I say, a lot of things are simpler here in Indy. The city, itself, the football, it's been fun. Guys are about football. I think I've sensed that since the first day I've came in here. It's important to everyone here, and it's been fun working with this group. And then the city's been great too. People are nice. It's a sports town. Went to some Pacers games in the spring and got a sense for that. But yeah, it's a sports town. People are nice. I would imagine traffic's a little better as well. Traffic's a little easier for sure. Just a hair. I used to say Cincinnati was like playing almost like you're still in college, but you're playing like pro sports. It's like kind of a chill, just sports community. Right. Is what it felt like, Yeah.
So when I was in New York, I was only there for 2 years, but I had a 2015 great season with the Jets, 2016 awful season. So just seeing the highs and the lows for me in those 2 years. 2016, after that happened for me, I didn't watch football after that half of the year, the second half of the year. I didn't want to be around it. I absolutely lost my love and hated it. I signed in Tampa because it was an hour door to door from my house to Disney World, and I could bring my kids, and that was the only reason I kept playing football. For you, I know your times in New York, you had some great highs, and then it got so difficult at the end, and I felt for you so much going through that. But did you ever feel that moment where you just couldn't be around it and hated the game?
I don't know if I could say I ever hated the game, but those drives back from the stadium Sunday, after you lost and you're driving through traffic, and those are tough and make you think about a lot of things. But I think at the end of that time in New York and kind of how it ended, it was tough, and you go through a lot, I think, and being able to go to Minnesota, kind of watch those guys, learn from Kevin, watch Sam play, see how they did things, and taking some scout team reps and just kind of being there for that, I think was really valuable for me to see it. So I don't know if I ever hated it, but it was like, man, this is real tough.
Who did you lean on? Because the other hard thing is, well, this guy's making this much money, but there aren't many people that can relate to the struggle that you go to, or you put so much into the game and it isn't going the way you want. Was there somebody in particular that you leaned on when times got tough in New York?
Mostly my family. I'd say my parents, lucky to have, both my parents are very, involved and care a lot, support us. Me and my siblings come to all the games and are into it. So I'm lucky to have them. And then I have 3 siblings who live in New York now. So, spend a lot of time with them, and I'd say mostly my family. And then, from there, coaches I've had, a lot of people have asked me about, you got so much criticism and so many people said this and that about you, but there's also a lot of people during that time who kept telling me, they thought I could play or they thought I could do it. And a lot of those people were the people that I respected the most, the people that I, really, I thought they knew, coached me or whatever it was, and looked up to their, whatever it was, part of their, football expertise. And that meant a lot to me at the time. So I'd say mostly my family, and then, coaches I've had or players I've played with, older guys.
It's one of the things I've enjoyed. Ryan has been an advocate of how excited he was for your opportunity here with this organization, and I know he was pretty outspoken about it. He couldn't wait to see how it was going to go. This training camp, and so he's been living good because people don't give him a lot of compliments.
I've been patting myself on the back.
He might have brought it up a few times in our production meetings about how right he was, but when you talk about that Minnesota experience, I'd be curious to know. I feel like we're all even at our age, and not playing football, we're all looking for how we grow and adapt, just in life in general. But when you say Daniel Jones, New York Giants, and then go to Minnesota and come here. What are some of the things you feel like you've grown in, or maybe experiences you've had that you've matured from?
Well, I always thought I worked, really hard. I tried to work really hard, and it was important to me to prepare, watch film, study. And I think I did that, but then going to Minnesota, I saw how Sam prepared, how, Kevin prepared those guys, Josh McCown, Grant Udinski, that crew, and how detailed they were day in and day out on every little bit of the plan and how they're going to study it, what they're looking for, walking through it, quizzing each other in the quarterback room. And that made a big impression on me. And I was like, okay, this is maybe the next level of some of that stuff. And I think that changed. I think Kevin's just how aggressive he was in the play calling. I mean, you guys see it. It's like it's play pass, but it's a lot of drop back shots, taking their chances, and that made an impression on me too. So I think several things like that, and just being around those guys.
And now fast forward to being with Shane. Did you know him before you signed here, or no?
He came to Duke when I was coming out, and we spent a day. We shot some hoops in Cameron Indoor, but that was the bit I knew him.
Yeah, and so how has that relationship progressed? He obviously had a great run when he was in Philly, and I know he was with Phillip Rivers back in the day and loves to do all the jittery Phillip Rivers stuff, but how's your relationship going with Shane?
It's been good. I've enjoyed working with him. I think, he's had so much success with so many different guys. I think I saw that, and that was cool to me. And then getting here, just communicating, I think, throughout the week, how he sees the game plan. And then once we get to Friday, Saturday, he's pretty specific about how he sees the game plan out. Hey, in this situation, I'm thinking this or this, and this is what we expect them to do. And, be ready for this, be ready for that. And I think that communication has really helped me prepare, kind of like, some of the stuff we were talking about earlier. Because then you go, hey, I got to go back and look at this look, or hey, I got to go back and see what this issue could be and this pressure. What do I need to be ready for here? And I think that's really helpful. But
what about you wear a wristband? Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you wear one in New York?
I did, yeah. I did.
I like
been
the
a
Are you
wristband
anti?
guy? He's a
No, I
wristband
like
guy.
I like
Okay.
a wristband,
He likes the wristband.
especially when it's somewhere loud. Wristband 15. All right.
It's a little quicker,
So how do
yeah.
you read it to yourself and then you read it out loud? Do you read it out loud the first
I just
time?
read it out loud. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
so
you
he'll
can
give me
process
like
it that way.
wristband 34, and then an abbreviated version of you got this play, and so I know what it is, and then I'll read it.
Okay,
Now,
so
I don't know this. Do y'all study that? Like, do you get a wristband before
I would
the game?
I would
Like, do you
never
read
yes,
it?
but I
Do you
would never
practice reading
study the
it? I don't know.
number. You're not going to be like, 17. I know what that play is, but so he
No,
then does
I
tell
know,
it
like
into
practicing reciting it, like maybe the night
little
before
bit.
the game or the morning of the game. Do you ever or you just
I
read
practice like the plays that aren't on the wristband.
Okay. Yeah.
So but I don't practice reading it, but all the plays that are in the game plan. So it's like, hey, why move to trio right stack on third down? You're like, okay, this what the play, you should know what that is. But
Do you predetermine on the wristband on third down cadences and stuff, or no?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah, here and there.
Yeah, there's always little tidbits, I guess, that you could put on there too. Mm-hmm. We did it a little bit, not a ton. Sometimes you have to flip them. I don't know if you guys are doing that on yours, or you just have them.
We
right
have
and
both
left.
ways. I've had to flip them before.
Yeah.
Flip them.
Every now and again, you get a young guy that says Lou instead of Ron or something with the checkdowns. But what about Tyler Warren? So coming out of the draft, there was a coach that called me. He said, "This is the best tight end I've ever seen come out of college. In my 20 years of scouting, this dude is a stud. Certainly looks that way."
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a stud. He's a stud. And, pretty much since the first day he got here, you're like, wow, this guy, he just does what you'd expect him to do. I think I've tried to explain it to people as a quarterback, there's a lot of stuff that's a little gray, or you haven't talked about it all the way, or it's not a hard and fast rule. And in those situations, he kind of just does what you'd predict or what you'd expect him to do or what you'd want him to do. And as a young player, I think that's, I certainly haven't seen it. And, he's just got a knack for getting open, making plays. He's tough, finishes runs. He's going to get the extra 3 or 4 yards. Smart football player. But he's been big for us.
Talk to me about Jonathan Taylor. Like, what really makes him so unique and special just from your time around him?
I think, I think his size and speed, for one. I mean, there's not too many guys. I mean, Saquon, you talk about guys who are 230 or whatever he is, but can also run past, all the DBs on the field and hit the home run. Like that's a big difference maker for us. The guys up front have played, off the charts. And then, so I think we've seen in some of these games, you wear on them a little bit in the first half and you got a lot of 4 or 5 yard runs. And then the second half, like here comes a 20 yarder, here comes a 40 yarder. And that I think is that's a huge deal. It's nice as a quarterback, you hand the ball off and you get a huge.
Nice as a lineman too.
Yeah.
I'll take that one.
It seems like Downs is a dude that's really easy to throw to too.
Yeah.
He just kind of gets it. But it's like I love the way the offense is set up where you've got these huge targets and big dudes on the outside and him being able to work on the inside. How the rapport with Michael Pittman and with Alec Pierce on the outside, what I keep saying is it just seems like you're in such a great rhythm. Your feet look awesome, but every ball's on the face mask too. Have you had big guys like that to throw to? Like how advantageous has that been for you to be able to have those big dudes on the outside?
Yeah, like you said, I think each one of those guys kind of does something a little bit different for us and brings something different to the table. I think the size is huge with Pittman, going over the middle, making tough catches, fighting through contact. AP down the field and can go up and catch the ball. Obviously, he can run, and then he can go up and high point it over guys. I think that's a big deal. And like you said, Josh has been huge, especially on third down when you're counting on guys to find little spots and get, you need 4 or 5 yards and it's going to be a tight window. He does that really well, finds that spot, catches it. And, but the big guys outside are a big deal. I think you got, guys who are physical, can body a guy, catch an in cut, or can go up and, high point the ball when it's up there. I think that's a big deal.
So it's Pittman Jr. Have you ever seen Senior? Were you old enough to see Senior?
Swole.
I think I saw him a little bit when I was
the biggest arms,
no question.
the biggest arms you've ever seen in your life. He played for the Cardinals. So growing up, he played for the Cardinals, and he played for Tampa. But you ask him a question, I'm gonna pull up a picture.
Yeah, you pull up that. Let me ask you this, because obviously Fitz he loves all up to get into leadership stuff, and one of the things I think is unique about the situation, you come into Indy, obviously you just left Minnesota being there with Sam and KOC and them for a little bit of the last past of the year, but you come into this, you're obviously trying to compete for the job, but there's almost a thing there of you don't know if it's your job or not, you're trying to earn it. So it's less about really being a captain or being the guy who's telling people what to do or any of that type stuff. It's more about just earning that respect. What was that mentality like? And then now that you've got the job, y'all are having success, do you feel anything that has to be different? I kind of get the idea you're kind of the same guy all the time regardless, but how has that been like for you?
Yeah, I think, I think the last thing anyone wants is the new guy who comes in and talks too much or has too many opinions about things. So I think, just coming in and trying to learn it, learn how things have been going around here. I mean, I think there's a lot of guys in the locker room who were drafted here. Most of the guys, I think there's a lot of people who've stuck around here and have done things one way for a long time. I think so learning that and learning kind of how the locker room operates, trying to get to know guys, working hard, trying to show that you're about football, you're about the right stuff, and then I think playing well. I mean, you're playing well at practice. I think guys want to see you do the right thing, put the ball in the right spot, get it, get in the right play. I think earning guys' trust that way. I think it's about what happens on the field at the end of the day, right? So,
yeah, the two things I love most about you, aside from the physical and all those traits that you have, and we were talking about this before you came on, but you're tough as shit. And that part, I think that gets overlooked. The things that you went through in New York, not the mental part of it, but the physical part of it, the toll it took on your body, but the fact that you just kept getting up and taking the hits and not complaining and getting up, that to me was all right, this dude won me over. Even when the seasons weren't going as you needed or wanted them to go, that won me over. And then the second part is a quarterback that's dealt with adversity. There's not going to be a lot of stuff that comes your way this year that you haven't been through before, that you haven't had to handle. And so the leadership aspect of it and coming in, I think these big fellas, right away, they love you because they've seen the toughness, they've seen the grit and the way that you've handled yourself in the past. And the second part of it is you don't flinch. So you guys have had a great start to the season, but when something happens this year and it doesn't go your way, you're a guy that's already been there and you've done that. And so as we're talking about quarterbacks and previewing the season, those to me are the two things that stood out as to why I love you so much, your game, and the way that you play because you approach it the right way. So there's no question in there.
Yeah.
But
Thank you. I appreciate it.
there's Pittman's dad. He's a fucking monster.
Monster.
So he lives in Arizona now. I actually saw him at like a indoor soccer game the other day, and he's still yoked.
Is he?
But it's just like his son obviously is taller and more slender than he is, but he's a big ass dude. So.
Did you play with him?
I know I never did, no, but
There's
I grew
a
up
chance.
like there's like, I think I played with 40% of the NFL.
Let me ask you this, Daniel. What does Daniel Jones do when he's not playing football? You golf? What's your
Play
recreation?
golf
What's
in
your
the off
hobbies?
Season.
Okay. Decent?
I
What's the
don't-
handicap?
Probably like high single digits right
Okay.
now, but
All right, that's
I can
good.
blow up. I'm all over the place.
that's
Y'all play?
good, man.
It sounds he's a 3.
Oh wow.
He's
So you're
ridiculous.
legit,
We
yeah.
sound very similar.
Okay,
like
yeah.
the ball might spray around a little bit, but
Yeah.
you enjoy playing. Anything else? Rubik's Cube, books,
Rubik's Cube.
any shows? The
Come on,
Summer
we
I
need
Turned
to know
Pretty.
we
I'm
just
into
we just
that.
got through binge watching. The,
We binged season 1 of The Summer I Turned Pretty
Yeah,
on the
yeah?
bus.
How is
Yeah,
it?
it can get pretty lonely on here, so we just
Yeah, well, we both have teenage daughters, so
Okay.
we've heard they watched it. So we had to figure out during this time what they've seen.
it's
Yeah.
not
So
okay.
It's not good.
sexual.
It's not
Very
good.
sexual.
Very bad. It's
Yeah.
very bad.
What's your show? Do you have a show that you go to?
I think I'll watch a show if I like get going on one. I don't have one right now. I watched something called Untamed recently. I think it was a Netflix show about a guy in the national park.
We're only allowed to talk about things that are on Prime in here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, I fall asleep to Seinfeld every night. So,
Seinfeld?
yeah.
Frasier for
That's what I
me.
do. Are you serious?
Frasier.
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Frasier Crane. You
Frasier
kidding me?
Crane?
Yes.
I know that.
Frasier and Niles
right.
Crane every night.
All right. Well, we want to be respectful of your time. We appreciate you coming and
Appreciate
hanging
y'all
out,
having me,
brother.
man.
Yeah,
Thanks.
appreciate
Good
it,
to see you
man.
guys.
Yeah,
It's
you
great
too, brother.
rooting for you.
Enjoy the rest of the trip.
Yeah. Thank you.